Hey everyone, welcome back to SecureDApp's YouTube channel. This is your host and host Kunal as always. And today we are back with SecureDApp Spotlight third episode. So what is SecureDApp Spotlight? SecureDApp Spotlight is a series where we sit down with industry experts and explore the latest blockchain and cybersecurity regulations and everything that comes in between. Real talk, real insights straight from the front lines of Web3 and digital security. So, without wasting further time, let me just introduce myself. I am Kunal Chowdhury, Content and Community Executive, and a subject matter expert at SecureDApp. With me, I have a person who is a well-known person in this kind of regulations and legal department. So, Nikhil Prasad. Who is Nikhil Prasad? Nikhil Prasad is one of the most promising legal minds shaping the future of blockchain regulations. And at SecureDApp, Nikhil serves as a blockchain and a subject matter expert, playing a critical role in aligning decentralized technologies with evolving legal frameworks. So, Nikhil, my friend, over to you. Please give a short intro about yourself to the audience and tell the audience what we are heading to today.
Okay, so everybody, this is Nikhil Prasad Singh, and I'm a passionate legal entrepreneur who is, uh, as described by my friend Kunal here, is a subject matter expert on the virtual digital assets and its regulations. So today, we will cover all the nuances and regulations and its loopholes in the field of virtual digital assets in the country of UAE. So that is what we are going to cover. We will complete it in depth. You will have uh, your questions asked, all your queries answered, and that is what we are going to cover today. So
Okay, thank you, Nikhil. Thank you for such a beautiful and short intro about yourself. So, Nikhil, talking about UAE, we know UAE is the tourism capital, we can say, the or famous for uh, petrol or something like that. But talking about virtual digital assets, the first question that comes in my mind is how does Dubai's VARA licensing regime compare with ADGM's FSRA permission frameworks?
mm, so what first of all, to understand what is VARA and what is FSRA, what is ADGM, what is Dubai, we'll have to understand what is the regulatory understanding of the what is the regulatory framework of the Dubai or UAE. I mean, sorry, UAE. So UAE is a Emirates. It means that there are different states in it. There is Abu Dhabi, there is Ras Al Khaimah, there is Dubai, and there are seven different type of states that has come together and has formed the United Arab Emirates. Okay, so that is how Dubai is functioning. So when we talk about Dubai, we only say Dubai. Okay, Dubai as a state. We don't talk about Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi has a different law. Ras Al Khaimah has a different law, and and we and there is a mainland Dubai. That is the whole of sorry, not mainland Dubai, the whole of mainland UAE. So so there is that is how it has been differentiated by their uh, regulations by their own people. So law which functions in Abu Dhabi doesn't function in Dubai. Laws which function in Dubai doesn't function in Ras Al Khaimah, and there are different laws that function as a whole in UAE, and so that is how they are all functioning. And when we talk about VARA, so we have to understand, man, that uh, we have to understand that there are different financial centers into there is a DIFC, there is ADGM. So these are all different financial centers in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi has ADGM, that is Abu Dhabi Global Market, and Dubai has DIFC, that is Dubai International Financial Center. So these financial centers again have functioning on different laws, different type of regulations, that is different from the mainland Dubai. You will find there are different bylaws, there are different types of criminal laws, there are different tax rates, there are different real estate rates, there is different type of licensing system in the financial centers, and there are different type of licensing centers in the mainland. So that is how they are differentiated. And when we talk about VARA, so VARA is a licensing mechanism for virtual assets, and its full form is Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority. So it is responsible for regulating all the digital assets and its what everything that belongs to the digital assets in the Dubai mainland. It doesn't regulates in the DIFC. DIFC has DFSA, that is Dubai Financial uh, Estate. They have DFSA. So when we talk about VARA, it specifically applies to only Dubai. Okay. So that is how licensing regime in Dubai is. That is VARA. And we talk about ADGM. So ADGM is Abu Dhabi Global Market. So Abu Dhabi Global Market is another financial center that is based in Abu Dhabi. It is not its bylaws are same different from Abu Dhabi. It's their bylaws, regulations, tax rate, real estate rates, permissions, licensing are different from mainland of Abu Dhabi, and that is where FSRA comes in. That is Financial Services Regulatory Authority, which governs the virtual assets within the ADGM. That is Abu Dhabi Global Market. So when we talk about Dubai, Dubai has a different bylaws for their mainland relating to virtual assets as well, and Dubai has a different laws for their own DIFC as well. So Dubai is far more progressive. Though Dubai is far more evolving. Dubai is far more uh, improving, amending their laws, their bylaws as compared to the Abu Dhabi. That what I can see right now. So that is how their market is functioning. Dubai is trying to make themselves global, and their bylaws, their regulations are properly aligned with the startups, investors, and all. And and it's completely I mean commendable what they are doing. See, you will see that every other startup is moving out of every other country to Dubai because they have clearly understanding of the laws. They are the most advanced. They have the most advanced laws in comparison to any other, that is India, USA, Singapore, Vietnam, Africa, any other European Union, MICA, every other country that we talk about. Dubai and Abu Dhabi has the best laws for the virtual assets, and it's a best place to start your startup right now.
Yes, Nikhil, exactly. So it
Yes.
would not be what to say. It would not be great. It would be great if we could say that Dubai or UAE particularly is the best place. Have completely broken down the points that other countries are still figuring out. You want to say that, right?
Yeah. I mean, other countries are still figuring it out, and Dubai has come up with the laws. So every other so they are getting all the investment, they are getting all the startups, and and the licensing regime. They have made them so easier. Okay, man, they have made them so
Exactly.
easier. You can start your startup within 2 months. You'll get virtual digital asset license within, I think, 1.5 months to 2 months with all the uh, proper documents, and you can start right away. Okay, so it's a tax heaven. They have zero tax rates on the income tax. Okay, so I mean, it's the best place to start your startup if you are want to go into the virtual digital asset space. You know.
And and one more point to mention here that I was calling VARA as VARA. I was calling it earlier too, but currently after hearing out from you, I just learned a new thing that we call it VARA,
Okay.
not VARA, right?
Yeah, I didn't wanted to correct you because I thought, no, it's your call. So
No,
I mean, it's called in the general sense, it's called VARA, but in the regulatory sense, it's called VARA. Because we are Indians, we tend to state it that way. So when we talk
exactly,
with other
exactly.
lawyers as well, with clients as well, so we call it VARA. But I think in regulatory understanding, it is called VARA. So you are not
Okay.
wrong, man.
Thank you so much. But I still learned a new thing today. Coming on to VARA as well. How in what ways VARA regulation 2023 mirror or diverge from MICA, particularly that requirements on custody and disclosure part?
Hmm. So that is a very good question. What is the comparison between VARA and the MICA? So when
Exactly.
we talk about VARA, it is far more advanced, I think. Mica has just came, I mean, 6 months ago. Vara is far more ahead. Under the Vara, that is, they have their own regulation, that is virtual assets and related activities regulations. So under that, the custody service providers and a segregate provider must segregate each client's assets in individually tagged wallet, prohibit rehypothecation, implement hot cold storage protocols with detailed transfer documentation and all that. I mean, they have a whole lot of mm, security standards and compliances. And when we talk about MICA, it has their own custody rules. That is crypto asset service. They are called crypto asset service providers. So both framework instate that custodial assets are not the what I can say that custodial assets are mm, not the uh, only custodian balance sheet items when and that client assets remain distinct from the proprietary holdings. Okay, so what they have tried, I mean, both have tried to establish it in that way that there has to be some differentiation in the holding person and the custodian person. So that is how they have differentiated. Further, in the disclosure front, VARA requires all virtual asset service provider to publish their client-facing policies on fees, order execution, and risk factor. And similar to MICA as well, there has been FLAIR. They are fair, clear, and non-misleading. Their information rules are, I mean, far very very good. VARA goes further, but VARA, when you talk about VARA goes further by mandating licensed activities, while MICA requires white paper for e-money or asset reference tokens. So, starting through a VARA license is far more easier than starting with a MICA, because you will only need what you will only uh, need some proof, some assets, e-money, and all that. But in MICA, you will need your white papers and all. So starting in Dubai is far more easier right now.
Got your point, Nikhil. Got your point. I completely agree in it that you said. Nikhil, third question that comes to my mind, and I have noted it down earlier. So, how does UAE PDPL, that we also known as Personal Data Protection Law, align with GDPR principles, and what's unique provision does it introduce?
How Dubai's personal data protection aligns with GDPR? That is a very good question. First of all, that UAE's personal data law, that is PDPL, it is a no, no, sorry, UAE's data law. I'm also mistaken here. It is UAE personal data law. So it is functioning in the whole of the mainland UAE, and its principles, how some of it principles align with the GDPR of the EU. That is lawful basis of processing, purpose, limitation, data minimization, accuracy, security, and all that. And it introduces unique elements reflecting local context and federal structures and all. And under the PDPL, you can also see that that PDPL diverges in several aspects. GDPR GDPR interest lawful basis does not exist under PDPL. PDPL instead mandates explicit consent of the most scenarios unless exceptions apply. Okay, PDPL also requires data breach notification immediately upon becoming aware at stricter standards than GDPR, because without any delay within 72 hours, which may result in heavier reputation risk. I mean, GDPR has almost 72 hours of uh, cool off period while you notify about the database, but that is not in the case of PDPL. So PDPL uh, and also you can say that UAE, since it functions on its own Sharia laws, so it is far more stricter when it comes to their own data privacy laws. And GDPR is UAE is a lot more liberal country, but it's more of a customer centric. So but it also want to flourish their own uh, businesses as well. So they have a balance between both of that. But in PDPL, that is UAE's personal data protection law, there is not such balance. They are completely focused on the customer. Okay, so you will have to immediately notify the consumer that there is a data breach and all that. So they're far more stricter than compared to the GDPR.
Got your point, Nikhil. Got your point. So, brother, I want to ask one more question on this. So, what are the key differences between, we know that DIFC law is there. So, what are the key difference between DIFC law 5 slash 2020 and federal D3 law 45 slash 2021 on data protection?
Hmm. So that what I mentioned in the first question as well. That is how DIFC laws are different from Dubai or UAE's federal decree. So in when we talk about financial centers like Dubai International Financial Center, that is DIFC. So they have different bylaws. The laws that are functioning in the mainland will not function in the financial centers. So that is how it's a safe haven for the organizers, international business people, international investors. So when they come to when we come to DIFC, there is a there are three primary data protection regime that operates in the DIFC, and ADGM regulation, that is and federal decree law, that is PDPL. So PDPL, which you mentioned earlier, is also a federal decree law 4521. It's official number of the PDPL. That is what 4521 is. So the DIFC law explicitly desires that there are special categories of data protection. Okay, so
Ma,
in it is more in alignment with the what I can say with the GDPR than the PDPL. Okay, because it wants to mm, call the international investors and all. They want to flourish their because they don't have their own oil, so they want to build a separate market. So there is a far more the DIFC law is far more aligned with the GDPR than with the what I can say than with the PDPL. Further, DIFC law mandates appointment of data protection officer, just like the GDPR, for any data processing involving high risk and operations such as large scale profiling. But PDPL does not mandate the DPO universally. So, so that is how there is a differentiation. That what I earlier said, that it is more aligned with the GDPR of the EU than with its own mainland. Okay.
understood, Nikhil. And going to the next question I have is how do UAE AML and CFT rules for VASPs implement FATF recommendation 15 on virtual assets?
Hmm. Okay. So, what is the VASP's implementation? Okay. So under the federal degree, that is the of the anti-money laundering, the for combating the financial terrorism and financing of illegal organizations, the VASP falls squarely under the AML regime, that is the anti-money laundering regime. Okay, so thereby implementing those FATF recommendations and all that. FATF recommendation recommended that there should be 15 mandates that VSP apply, and a risk-based approach to the customer due diligence has to be taken, transaction monitoring and all, and STR. mm, what I can say, that is there has to be an STR reporting as well. And further, VARA further mandate VSPs to appoint a special AML compliance officer, implement AML policies, implement CFT policies. So mm, their approach is very much aligned with the FATF. Okay, so under the FATF 2021 guidelines, all those guidelines that which FATF mentioned in play in for the virtual assets, they have applied all that. Okay, and under the SCA also, uh, that is a what services services authority under the SCA as well. SCA as well. All the AML CFT guidelines has to be applied. Every way service provider has to maintain their own compliance officer. They have to maintain their own KYC protocols and all that. So that is how they have aligned themselves uh, with the FATF and AML laws.
Understood, Nikhil. So talking about FATF, we know Financial Action Task Force, it is the full form of it. So let us go to the next part, next segment of it. I have a question that says, what impact will cabinet decisions of 100 by 24 or 2024's VAT exemption on VDM market liquidity in the UAE?
What will the impact of the cabinet decision on that exemption? Okay, so that is a very deep question, man. So let's suppose that cabinet has decided. So first of all, we have to understand media market liquidity in the UAE. What is the exemption on it? So uh, that exemption on the trading and conversion of the VA removes ambiguity and corrects the inconsistencies where some exchange had been charging weight on the fiat swaps, effectively lowering transactional cost and reducing the friction of both retail and institutional participants. Uh, so they have eliminated that VAT from the virtual asset service provider, just like we talked in the MICA as well. That if they're only they're not creating any value, they are just a facilitator or the aggregator between the token and the customer. Okay, so they can't charge any VAT. Okay. Moreover, by exempting custody management services, the decision encourages the growth of local custodian and wallet providers as well, as they can offer services like water and services like staking, services like staking, wallet providers, DeFi access. Okay, stimulating liquidity growth and also they can uh, important to note that financial services remain the VAT exempt only when no explicit fee is charged. Okay, so if an exchange imposes, for example, a separate network fee, okay, not bundle into the trading spread, that fee could be subject to VAT, meaning structuring the fee models carefully will be very crucial, and that is where people like us comes in, that how we have to that how we are structuring their field model on how to exempt themselves from the VAT execution. So that is where people like uh, us have to implement our own mind, have to draft things in such a way that those things are not included.
Got your point, Nikhil. Got your point. So, brother, my next question is on VARA and ADGM. So, how does VARA and ADGM coordinate with federal regulators like Central Bank of UAE and Securities and Commodities Authority on cross-judicial firms or organizations?
Hmm. See, VARA and ADGM each coordinate closely with the federal bodies because they are functioning under the bylaws as well, namely the Central Bank of the UAE, that is CBUAE. Okay, so Central Bank of the UAE and the Securities and Commodities Authority to ensure. So SCA is on the federal level. Okay, VARA and ADGM are on the financial center level. SCA is on the federal level. So mm, they closely coordinate with the central bank and the SCA to ensure consistent oversight of the VSPs operating across multiple jurisdictions. I mean, in March 2022, even the cabinet resolution came that stated that SCA as the US federal level VSP regulator for onshore UAE, okay, prescribing that SCA's rule books govern any VSP operating outside VARA and AD. and ADGM. Okay, so any VSP that is functioning outside of the financial centers, that is Abu Dhabi Global Market and the Dubai International Financial Center, will be regulated by the Securities and Commodities Authority only. Okay, and when a firm holds a VARA license, VARA automatically notifies the SCA and vice versa for ADGM as well, FSRA licenses. And the SCA VARA cooperation agreement that was signed in the June 2024 establishes mutual supervision mechanism. Okay, and for like information sharing protocol, joint information action, such coordinate on-site inspection or simultaneous license suspensions for non-compliance across jurisdiction. And that is how uh, banks are functioning. No, sorry, that is how ASP are functioning. So there is a proper mechanism for notifying each other and vice versa.
Mhm. Gotcha, point, Nikhil. So before we get into our next segment or next question, I will just like to tell our audience that SecureDApp is working as the day and night to be the frontline defense against hackers and threats for blockchain and cybersecurity. So being our mission that we have a product that we call Secure Trace. So what is Secure Trace? A sophisticated blockchain forensic tool harnesses advanced AI and machine learning technologies. It excels in post transaction analysis and forensic thread tracing with a standout feature auto trace. This feature automates the tracing of transactions, saving time and effort for the users. For to know more, please go at securedapp.io. So, Nikhil, moving on to our next section, bro. So, talking about governance and technology. So, what governance and technology must control ADGM license VASP implement under the section under the 2025 guidance?
So, Kunal, that is a very good question, I must say. And what is the governance of technology control in the ADGM licensed BSPs? Okay, so under the Abu Dhabi global market, there is a update on their own guidance, that is guidance on the regulation of virtual assets activities in ADGM, that is effective from January to 2020, January 2nd January 2025. And any VSP seeking a financial services permission must adhere to the comprehensive set of governance and technology controls that is laid down in the FSRA rule books. That is what they have mentioned. They'll have to be if there has to be a fit and proper board and senior management with a proper structure of their organization that has to be laid down. Second of all, there is a risk management framework that has to be established, that how you are going to manage your customer enterprise wide risk management, like identification, monitors, mitigates customer risk, market manipulation, custody theft risk, and smart contract vulnerability risk. uh, Talking about the smart contract vulnerability risk, I must say that secured apps is doing very good work in smart contract audits, and their Solidity Shield and their Secure Watch are like very very useful tool for the smart contract auditing. So mm, that is what I was trying to say. Further, there has to be an internal audit and compliance unit that has to be established in the virtual asset service providers organizations as well. So that is what mm, ADGM licensing and technological risk means. You'll have to maintain your cryptographic key management. How will you manage all those cryptos? Where all these passwords will be saved? There has to be cyber security. There has to be a market surveillance. There have to be a uh, business continuity, how market liquidity, market making. Everything has to be planned as well.
Got your point, Nikhil. So Nikhil, you mentioned about Secure Watch and Solidity Shield. Audience, if you want to know more about it, we have a particular video dedicated to Solidity Shield and Secure Watch in our YouTube channel too. You can watch it, or otherwise you can just go into our website securedapp.io. There you will find a hell lot of things which is protecting or which is or in future it will also get famous about protecting a blockchain and your cyber security thing. So you can just go to securedapp.io and find and know more about us. So Nikhil, just continuing to the next section, how should VASPs navigate overlapping jurisdiction? For example, Dubai mainland versus DIFC, or versus ADGM.
Hmm. How what VSPs navigate in these overlapping jurisdiction? So I mean, we have discussed some of these in the first question as well. That uh, there is a separate federal level regulations in the UAE. There is a separate regulation in their own Emirates, that is Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and there is a separate regulation in their financial centers, financial zones in the DIFC and the ADGM. Okay, so first they will come UAE, then comes the Dubai or Abu Dhabi, then comes their financial center. Every level has a different type of laws, and no other laws will violate overlap each other. Okay, so the laws which are functioning in the financial centers will not overlap the mainland laws. That is how they have uh, organize their own things. And if we, it's a multi-layered regulatory landscape, man. I mean, if I try to explain something, so there is Dubai mainland for any virtual asset activity, onshore activity, DIFC, and was must either be regulated by uh, VARA under cabinet or by SCA. Okay. Then there comes the DIFC, that is, and they have authority called DFSA, that is Dubai Financial Services Authority. So under that, VSP has to get registered if you go to DIFC. And if you go to ADGM, that is Abu Dhabi Global Market, then you'll have to be get registered with the FSRA. Okay. Financial Services Regulatory Authority. It functions in the ADGM. So, and they have different types of AML laws. There is a central AML CFT KYC process, and there is a AML CFT process for these all the other mainlands as well. And they use, I mean, they have a different type of cooperation agreement between them, MOUs, MOUs, and agreements that are functioning for their that are helping each other. They help SCA is helping what VARA is helping SCA. So that is how their cooperation goes. So there is no issue in it. Okay, if you get a VARA license and you want to operate in Dubai, you can get a VARA license. If you want to operate in DIFC, you will have to get a DFSA license. It is all that. It's a matter of location. Okay, it's not an issue.
Completely. So, Nikhil, being an Indian, we always talk about taxes. So, my next question is on that. So, what tax considerations should international VASP operator account for when setting up in the UAE?
Hmm. 0%.
Okay. So, can you
No,
please
no.
elaborate more on it?
Yeah, from tax perspective, UAE, it's a what heaven. Okay, it's called a tax heaven. There is a 0% income tax rate. Okay, so all you can earn is all you can keep. All you can keep is all you can earn. Okay, so in what in there is only 5% bad rate, and other than that, all income tax that is generated can be kept a, by the person who is earning it. Furthermore, if I explain it more, that is, UAE introduced a federal corporate tax at 9%. That is taxable income exceeding 375 hundred thousand of dirhams in the free zone entities. Okay, So, and there is a 0% provided they meet substance requirement, right? That is payroll, office space, management space. So if they are doing all those CSR activities, so they will be charged 0%. If they're all they if they are they're not doing all those activities, so they will have to pay like 9% in those taxes. So that is why UA is a in India, it is 30-35%, man. You are earning 20 lakhs, 30% goes to the government. But in UAE, it isn't so. Okay. So, and there is also a double trade agreement as well, DTAA, in the Dubai and India. So if your income is generated in India and sorry, if your income is generated in India, UAE, and you are an NRI living in UAE, okay, so there there it's a there the tax rate is 0%. Okay, and if you send that money back to India, it will be taxed at 0% because that income was generated in UAE, and due to the DTAA, that is double taxation agreement between India and UAE, same thing cannot be double taxed in both these states. So if you are earning as an NRI, non-resident Indian, in the UAE, you will not be double taxed even if you send that money back to India, because it is already taxed in the UAE. That is 0%. So that is why it's a tax haven. And that is why in the first question as well, I stated that everybody is moving to UAE. Why? It's a tax haven. First of all, it's a tax haven. Okay, they have very clear laws that is aligned with the startups, regulation, technologies, and investment. And they have a very strong uh, mm, police. Their like, crime rate is very, very, very low. So that is why every business is trying to move in UAE right now.
Exactly, Nikhil. I can understand that. So, are you planning to move in Dubai right now?
It's not a matter of me moving to Dubai. Is SecureDApp trying to move in Dubai? If SecureDApp moves, I will also move because I am in
No,
UAE.
no, no. Currently, I don't think our company policy say that we have to first protect our country. That doesn't matter if there is tax or not. So, Nikhil, coming back to our the last, or you can say second last question of this episode. So, uh, how might forthcoming corporate tax rules affect large, vast enterprises in the United Arab Emirates?
Hmm. I think the forthcoming laws will make more precise definitions of the digital asset income. What constitute a digital asset income? How it will be? How what will be the trading revenue? What will the staking rewards, token issuance fees, and lending interests, and all that? Flash loans will be governed. So I think that is what the new corporate taxes regime will be more focused on. Okay, Dubai is also, I think, trying to implement of a transfer pricing rules, mirroring OECD guidelines. Large BSP or enterprises with related transactions, such as sending tokens between group-owned exchanges, will need to document arm's length pricing. And that is new guidelines, I think, will likely tighten the substance requirement for the free zone entities. Okay, large VSPs, enterprises headquartered in the ADGM or DIFC may need to demonstrate that key management and control decisions occur within the respective free zones and not out of the that free zones. Okay, and I don't think there will be a more of a tax introduction because 0% tax rate is like it's more than it has become from more than 2 or 3 decades now. So I don't think there will be more new type of tax rate, but let's see what the market states and what the regulations will do.
Completely got your point, bro. So, Nikhil, the last and the final question that I have.
Hmm.
So looking ahead in time, which regulatory developments are most critical for advancing uh, the UAE's VDA ecosystem?
That is a very good question. First of all, the most there are two. there are two most recent development that has been made. First of all, I will tell you that on the 19th May 2025, that is the previous month, Dubai has introduced new regulations for the real world asset tokenization. Okay, so now you can tokenize real estate in the Dubai as well. It is right now it is functioning on the uh, only for Dubai, but I think soon they will start for international real estate tokenizations as well. So, fractional real estate is a very big thing. You can trade on real estate with those tokens. It's a different type of thing that they have came up with, and no country in the world has come up with such a laws. Further, last month on the uh, uh, I think Dubai there is a they have signed an MOU with the crypto.com that they launch their own okay, they will launch the Dubai will launch their own CBDCs, their own stable coin that is will backed by the fiat currency of the dirham, and that will be that will be controlled by the uh, what their own central banks, and it will be facilitated by crypto.com. Have you heard about the crypto.com? I think
Yes.
it's a yeah. It's a market leader in the world of crypto wallets. So they have signed an MOU with crypto.com, and they will try to facilitate all government fees, payment, penalties, transactions in Dubai dirhams and Dubai dirhams only. So that is I mean they have planned that up until 2030, 90% of the transaction in Dubai dirhams in dirhams will be done in digital payments only, digital transactions only. That is how far they want to go in the matter of virtual digital assets.
Completely understood, bro. Completely understood. So Nikhil, this was my last question for you. So I hope our audience got a lot amount of knowledge from your experience or your answers that you gave to me. So any last uh, questions or any last thing you just want to share about UAE's VDA regulations?
I mean, what I can say, man. I mean, Dubai's VDA regulations are so much far fetched. They're trying to uh, align themselves with investment, technology, startups, corporates. I mean, I would love to see that in India as well. Uh, I mean, the gift city, which in the previous episode we were talking about, the gift city is also aligned with that perspective only. It has been uh, established from that perspective. Just like the DIFC, that is Dubai International Financial Center, Gift City
Yes,
also has their
yes.
own bylaws, their own uh, regulations, and SecureDApp is also registered in DIFC, sorry, in the Gift City, right? And so that is what I must say that I still want to see India also going in that direction. Indian government also coming up with those types of laws, central laws, defining the stable coins in correct way, defining the tokens in, and not just keeping for them for the taxes and all.
Yes, I completely agree with you, bro. I don't think India is far away. India is coping up. India is a
Opening up,
very big country.
let's see how much it takes to come up with a proper regulation.
Yes, yes. But still, I think India will cope up.
Yeah.
Because in India technology is booming. We all know that we are from UPI, from DigiLocker, we are almost there. So I think India will cope up with not will cope up and will learn from
Yeah.
other
I'm also on the positive side that India will cope up, and crypto regulation bill is still pending, and I think in 2 years they'll come up with a good draft. Almost one or 2 years. They have come with consultation papers. They'll come up with a good law.
Okay, okay.
Hmm.
So this was a new thing that I heard about.
Okay. So
So, Nikhil, thank you so much, brother, for being such a nice speaker and Your knowledge, I think, is splendid in this kind of legal things around us. So I think our audience must have enjoyed the time that we enjoyed this third episode of SecureDApp Spotlight, particularly. So thank you so much for joining our audience. If you like this video, please share this. Please hit the like button, and if you subscribe to our YouTube channel and share this video with your friends, families, and colleagues. I will definitely see you next time with Nikhil, of course, on the fourth episode of SecureDApp Spotlight. Till then, stay safe, stay secure, and as always, stay ahead. Thank you.